Yes. Yes, we did. Come on up. Come on up. All right, so really quickly, just as a reminder, especially for those of you that weren't here on Thursday, we are preparing for the worst, hoping for the best. So to that end, I'm recording all the lectures, so microphone here, screen capture software, there's no video, so you're not going to be in any videos or anything like that. I'll upload it to YouTube and then put the link in RenWeb in the lesson plan section, so if you miss a class, then you can do that. And then also the Chapter 16 Reading and Review Guide. I'd like that to, we're going to practice for that to be completely online. So I assign it, you do it, you turn it in, all online. I don't want a hard copy. If you already did the hard copy, take a picture, upload it to your homework section, and then I'll grade it. But that's just kind of practice. That's not, for the foreseeable future, but it's just practice for right now. So we are going to finish up Chapter 16. Chapter 16 is all about phylogenies or phylogenetic trees or evolutionary history. And we can't do that without talking about classification. Right? So I don't think that there's a blank slide, because this was kind of the last slide. Right? And then I think the very last slide is this, which I'll get to here in a second. Right? But go ahead, find someplace. Find someplace, blank piece of paper, someplace in your notes packet, someplace to write this stuff down. It's not going to be a lot, but it's just a little bit. You probably already know all this, but I just want to teach it just really quickly for the sake of completeness. So what color should I use? Chartreuse. Help me out. What does that look like? A greenish yellow. Puke green. Is that chartreuse? That's olive green. Yeah, it's not chartreuse. Pukey hue. Like someone just ate split peas. Yeah? Okay, good. I like that. All right, sweet. So we're going to talk about classification. AKA taxonomy. Not taxidermy, right? Taxonomy. So classification, there used to be, right? Save a little bit of room at the top because it's changed. There used to be, I believe, 7 different taxons. Let's count them out. We have kingdom, and then phylum, kingdom, phylum, class, kingdom, phylum, class, order, kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species. Since Linnaeus, in I think like the 1700s, made these taxonomic categories, others have come along and they've offered up stuff like superfamily or subfamily or subspecies or superorder or different things like that. So there's kind of some in-betweener stages in there which you guys will encounter in your research. We're not really going to concern ourselves with those, but there is one that's been added that we do kind of need to know. Above the level of kingdom, there is this taxonomic category called domain. Domain. So we're just going to really quickly list the domains and the kingdoms, and then I'll describe your assignment that you're going to use to kind of dig deeper into this. So we have 3 domains that are currently recognized today in biology. We have domain bacteria. And this includes the normal bacteria that like live in our gut and live on us and make us sick. So this is normal bacteria. Currently, to my knowledge, there's only one kingdom in domain bacteria, and that is eubacteria. Do you guys remember what the prefix "eu" stands for? So a eukaryote? Oh, no. No, so a eukaryote is like the nucleus and complex and large. So eu means true. So a karyote or a kernel, right, is like the nucleus. So it has a true nucleus. Eukaryotes, true nucleus. So eubacteria, true bacteria, classic bacteria, the bacteria that we know and love, that we are intimately involved with in our everyday life. All right, so that's domain number one. Domain number two is archaea. And currently, it only has one kingdom, and those are the archaebacteria. The Lord told Noah to build him an archaebacteria, right? Okay, never mind. So archaebacteria, what does archae sound like? It sounds like Arctic. Okay, let's not other archae words. Architecture, okay. Other archae words. No, archaeology. Old, right? Digging into the past, right? So these are like old, prehistoric, or at least that's what they thought when they named the category. These were like the original bacteria because they live in really extreme environments, like hydrothermal vents way down deep in the ocean, and the really acidic, really salty pools in Yellowstone, and that's what gives them those brilliant colors. Since they've sequenced the DNA, they found out that eubacteria actually evolved first, and then archaebacteria was an offshoot of that. So it's a name, it's a little bit misleading name, but that's what they call it anyways, right? So these are kind of like the extreme bacteria. These are not the normal bacteria, these are the extreme bacteria. All right, so those are our two domains. Third domain encompasses most of life that we know and are familiar with, and it's the domain eukarya. Oops. Eukarya. So eukarya sounds like eukaryote. So everything in domain eukarya is a eukaryote, and I don't have room really to make it all on the kingdom line. So we'll just kind of assume that all of these, you know, that all these are kingdoms. So we have kingdom Protista. Right? Then we have kingdom Fungi. Then we have kingdom Plantae. And then we have kingdom, our favorite kingdom, Animalia. And so those are the four currently recognized kingdoms in eukarya, in the domain eukarya. All right, so that's the top end of the spectrum, right? We need to worry about that. I also, very briefly, just want to mention that a species, right, has a scientific name. So for instance, humans have a scientific name, which is Homo sapiens, right? And so the scientific name is a combination of the genus and the species. So genus plus species equals scientific name. Right, so Homo sapien would be for humans. We've talked about the fruit fly in the past with genetics. So the scientific name of the fruit fly is Drosophila, genus, Melongastar, species, right? Your family dog, right, has a scientific name. Canis, genus, Familiaris, species, your family dog was evolved or descended from the gray wolf, which has a scientific name, Canis, which is the genus, and then Lupus, which is the species, right? So family dog, gray wolf, very similar, same genus, but then different species, right? And there's some debate because some gray wolves, instead of eating the family dog, will actually reproduce with the family dog and so produce fertile offspring. So maybe it's not the same species. How do you define a species? We'll get to that next week when we get into chapter 17. But anyways, and then we have the fruit fly and the gray wolf, right? Fruit fly, Drosophila is the genus, and then the gray wolf is Canis is the genus. So totally different genuses. I would venture to guess totally different, probably all the way even up to phylum. I would guess that the fruit fly and the wolf kind of diverge at phylum because the wolf, right, is a vertebrate and the fruit fly is an invertebrate. It doesn't have a backbone. It has an exoskeleton, right? So, anyways, now that's kind of what I want you to research for your project that you're going to use the laptops for. But before I describe that, any questions? It's pretty self-explanatory. You've probably heard it before. We're good? We're good. All right, sweet. So here is your assignment, which I have posted to OneNote. So pick 6 organisms in the same kingdom. Most people will pick kingdom Animalia. That's totally fine. Some people, if they really like plants, can pick plants. If you really want to challenge yourself, fungi or bacteria, right? Either one of the bacteria kingdoms. Research and record their scientific names and their classification, right? The 6 have to be a different species. So that's actually where the last page of the Smart Notebook comes in. So I chose cats, right, as kind of my theme for my 6. So I just looked up on Wikipedia, right? Wikipedia is a really good start for research. So they have kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species, right? So I would like you to list, for all 6 of yours, I would like you to list domain, kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species. And then, so that's the easy part. Then I'd like you to use that information and use what you know about that animal or plant or fungi or bacteria. Draw a cladogram representing evolutionary history of the 6 species that you chose. All right, so for my example, a African lion and a mountain lion would be more closely related. They'd be kind of down here, right? And then maybe we have like a bobcat, right, and a lynx, right, are less closely related to the lions and more closely related to each other, right? So I want you to kind of play around with that. Draw a cladogram representing evolutionary history. If you want to research it online, other people have come up with cladograms and you can use that as your research, but I'd like you to draw your own cladogram. I don't want you to just copy-paste, right? And then in your cladogram, include at least one derived characteristic after each branching point. So I chose something as an example that you guys are probably not going to choose, fungi. So here's a derived characteristic, right? Here's our outgroup, and then here's a derived characteristic for all of these things after this, and then here's a derived characteristic for all that, and then there's a derived characteristic for all of that. So that is your task for the rest of today, and I think that'll be due Friday. This will be the only work time that we have in class, but I don't want to, overload you because I know you're busy. So we'll have this due next week, Friday. So the 20th, March 20th, if my math is correct. All right, questions on the assignment? Ready, set, go.